Whoa! Got to move my camera. Here we go. Whoa! Whoa! Sorry, Wayne's World moment there. Oh, come on. You can do it. I know you can. I've seen you do it before. Ah, there we go. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Zonated. Hope you're doing well on this fine Monday morning. And I hope your Monday morning is fine. Just fine. Not great. Not amazing. Just fine. So, like the title says, we got a bunch of skeletons to get through. That's good. I'm glad it is. Just fine. We got a lot of skeletons to get through today. I started using my airbrush a little bit this weekend. Well, congratulations. Happy birthday. I'm glad you can drink now, too. I guess. I'm glad that you can drink now. I promise you're not missing anything. What was I saying? Oh, yes. I started with, the airbrush this weekend. And I got a bunch of stuff done. I was working on getting the first few layers down of the colors, but my airbrush clogged last night and I couldn't get it to unclog. So I had to disassemble it and just give it a good thorough cleaning. And so I didn't get to finish all of them. And I didn't want to use the airbrush on stream because it's loud. So I'm just going to use my regular brush to get these color layers on. They're probably going to look a little different for the remainder of these guys. I don't care. But we got a bunch of skeletons to paint, and my goal is to paint them all today. All painted. Whether on stream or tonight. But I want to get them all done. Because I gotta get this project done. I'm gonna lose my mind. That's all I needed to do for that color on this guy. He was kind of partially done already. but I will show you the difference. There's not too much difference. So the colors are a little bit more vibrant on this guy, but this is one that I have painted with the airbrush, and this is one I painted with the brush. The colors, once they dry, they'll look about the same. The only difference I think is going to be the back, just because that's the nature of the beast. But I'm going to apply all the highlights and stuff like that. Anyway. I just have a few more of these guys to do. This one doesn't look like it got it either, so I'm going to move him back in the back. But, just as a reminder, this is the test model that we did. This is all by hand. So that's going to be what it's going to look like. Looks like he got most of the color, so I may have picked up one that already had the color on it, but that's okay. We'll do some spot work. I'm not super confident with my airbrush. I don't use it that much, just because it's kind of a pain to get out and use a lot. I have to really make the decision to do it, because I have a pretty limited hobby space, but once I get it out, I tend to use it a lot. And that is why I clogged it, because I was using it to paint all these skeletons. So I did the base coat, at the very bottom, the shadow tones, and I did the next layer up on all of them, and then I did the next layer of color up from that on all of them. And after I started on this color here, which is Skeleton Legion, I clogged it somehow. I think I've just been using it a little too much, and I should have cleaned it out a little bit more thoroughly in between switching colors. So, did not do that thing, though. As a result, I got a little clog, and I made it so that I could not finish the same spray on all the others. I'm not using my bottle holder just because I have to switch hands too much. I just realized I wasn't using it. That's just because I just grabbed one. Just using my hands. It's not a big deal. These guys are mostly just base coated. They're mostly just primer, so I'm not going to damage them anyway. I probably should use the model holder, though. So, I will. So you can actually see what I'm painting. my plan was to get Skeleton Legion as the midtone all over the skeletons last night using the airbrush, but didn't happen. And then I was just going to do the highlights of the bone today using the brightest color, and then all I would have to do is paint the brown and the gold and the silver, and then they would all be done. But didn't work out that way, but I'm still going to try to finish all these guys today. And that includes the special skeletons. There are special skeletons. It's wetting my brush a little bit. Just want to make sure it doesn't dry out. Alrighty. I believe that is another done skeleton. Well, that layer is done. I think I've got just a couple more I need to do. Just eyeballing them. Yep, I think I've got this one. This was the one I just did. I just missed a spot. The top of his very head. I think I just got these two and then the rest of the special ones. You can tell this guy definitely hasn't hit any because he's so brown. Hasn't got a single bit of skeleton legion. Very sad for him. little skelly feet. I got one more that needs some Skeleton Legion. And then we'll move on to highlights, and then that should be it for the bone on the main force. And then we'll do the special skeleton. Won't take long. Promise. Only been going 30 minutes, so you know. I'm trying to go as fast as possible. that one's done. So that's all the Skeleton Legion on the standard skeletons. Let's go ahead and do the special skeletons. I got 2 of these guys who are dragging the swords. Add a little bit of water to my wet palette. My palette's drying out just a little bit. Just a little bit. These guys don't have as much exposed bone on them because they've got these really cool helmets. They're also carrying these shields. And they're wearing a lot more armor. I do really like these skeletons. I think they're very cool. The cool pose. cool idea. Got a skeletal knight dragging his sword through the dungeon. There, the focus. I want to see if there's a way that I can use my phone as my camera. I got a brand new phone, and it does great images, pictures, video, etc., etc. So I want to try to use that. See if I can figure out a way to do that for future streams. Just because I feel like it also would autofocus, and you would be able to see. You would actually be able to see more of what I'm doing. It's also higher resolution, higher pixel count, so you would be able to actually like probably make out more details and stuff like that. I'd only do it at 1080p because I mean there's no reason to stream at higher than 1080p. That's about all that Twitch can handle. I think they're working on moving it up to 4K, but I don't know if they've done it yet. Alright, that's the second skeletal knight done. Now we've got the archers. We got 5 of these bad boys. These guys have one boot that's like the toes are missing, as you can see. I do like painting skeletons, I'm not gonna lie. That's another done archer. Well, the bone's done. That's about all that's done on them. One of the things I discovered about these skeletons while I was painting them last night is that their hands, they don't actually have a hand that's holding onto the bow. I can't tell on the back, but it looks like his hand is just kind of like attached. But now that I'm looking at it closely, it kind of looks like the hand is just very poorly defined. Yep, that's it. It blended into the binding. To the point where I thought he didn't have a hand, but his other hand was just the bow. Let me get the other hands on those other guys then. All right, we just got 2 more archers left. That will be the bone highlights. And that will be it for the bone. We'll move on to the brown, and we'll finish up with the silver metallics. Hey, Rom, thank you for the resub. Oh, I need to refresh my alerts. I changed up all my channel art and stuff. My socials should have changed. Refresh those two. And I have my alerts. Refresh those two. Here, I'll show you. I changed up all the sprites on them. So check it out. Hey, look at that. See? That's not a real follower. That's just a test follow. But now it's a wizard. I changed it all. That's what I did that this weekend. I had some free time. I Made myself a new sprite. Changed the channel name. Thank you. I need to get new emotes now. That's the next step. But I had somebody make my emotes for me. But I'm sad you can't stay very long, Rom. But thank you very much for resubbing. And thanks for popping in. I'll be streaming tomorrow as well, so... Unless something comes up. If it does come up, I will let you all know. But I'm pretty sure tomorrow is another stream day for me. Oh, the messages aren't popping on the screen? Let me refresh. Purge. There they are. Purge. Yep, and there's YouTube as well. Yep. I think my stream elements disconnected from my Twitch account for some reason. There we go. There you go. I wonder if those YouTube words are ever going to disappear. They're supposed to. We'll see. If they stay up forever, I'll fix it later. Oh, there they go. They disappeared. Yep. How was your day, though, Rom? I'm sorry you have a busy evening. Fiddling with the focus. Like I said this earlier, but I got my new phone, and I want to figure out if I can use that as my webcam. Try to use that. If I can figure out how to get it done. Because it's got a very good camera on it, so I want to use that if I can. But I'll test it out later on my own time. I might test it out this afternoon, in fact, after I finish my stream. I don't know. Donated isn't Alec. Donated is somebody else. He might. I don't know if his real name is Alex. I'm gonna be honest with you. Could be. But I will tell him a happy birthday when you get back. When he gets back. Ooh. Oof. I'm sorry that you didn't get any sleep. You were test playing a game though. That sounds fun. What game were you test playing, if you don't mind me asking? You can you don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I'm noticing something that I missed on the other skeletons. Fix it while I'm looking at it. Riftbound. Oh, that's the Is that the League of Legends game? Or am I thinking of something else? Ah, okay. Good. Is that the card game or the tabletop game? I can't remember. Because I know they have a card game and a tabletop game. Well, it's more of a board game, I think. But I'm thinking, just if I'm remembering correctly, that's the card game. Magic. Okay, yes, that's the card game. Yeah, the TCG. The trading card game. Sorry. Should be more specific. By tabletop, I mean it's got like a board and pieces and stuff like that. Gotcha. Was it any good? It works like magic. Oh, okay, cool. I was kind of hoping. Part of me was kind of hoping, even though I'm kind of tired of Universes Beyond, the Magic crossover sets. I was kind of hoping that they would do a League of Legends crossover set. I think that would be really cool. Because I think that League has a lot of like varied settings, so it works perfectly for a card game. So part of me was hoping that they would have done a Universes Beyond League of Legends or Universes Beyond Runeterra or something like that. That would have been really cool. I guess it's not outside the realm of possibility to still happen. I mean, Final Fantasy has a card game. And they have crossover Magic the Gathering cards as well, so... I went to the pre-release for the Spider-Man set that just came out for Magic the Gathering. And I got some cards that I like. I don't know if this is going to be like a very powerful set like overall. Like I don't think there's going to be a lot of cards in this set that people are clamoring for after it gets out of standard. Oh, okay, so you need to collect 8 points. So that's kind of like the Pokemon trading card game, where you just need to win 6 Pokemon battles and get 6 prizes, and you win. There's no player life or anything. Interesting. I might have to look into it. But yeah, the new Spider-Man set's okay. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of powerful cards in it. I like some of the I mean, I like Spider-Man and I like Marvel, so I got a lot of the references and stuff like that. And it was really cool to see some of that. But I think it's a little odd to have, like, New York City and Magic the Gathering. Stay on the battlefield as long as possible. Gotcha. So it's like playing League of Legends. That's cool. I'll have to look into it. Let's see if my game store is doing any like any Rift-bound play tests. Because I know that they were advertising it on their website, so I'll have to see if they're doing any. I have to see if I can check it out. They've got a lot to compete with in that space now. Magic is still king, of course, for now. I think that a lot of people are. I don't think they're getting tired of Magic. I think that it's actually like more accessible now than it has ever been when it comes to like material. I think price-wise, I think they're gonna run into 2 minutes. Okay, I think they're going to run into a lot of problems price-wise if they don't like reel in what their retailers are selling. Because Magic is more popular than it ever has been, and now it is also, unfortunately, more expensive than it ever has been. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. But I'm very, very glad that you came and hopped in. I'll be streaming tomorrow as well, so hopefully you're able to hop in for a little bit longer tomorrow. Hopefully. That would be nice. Just because I like my regulars, you know? I like the folks who come in and hang out regularly. Bye, Rom. Have a good day. Thanks for hanging out. All right, we moved on to highlights. It takes so long. I'm sorry. Highlights on the bone for 1. My watch is telling me to stand a little bit, but can't exactly stand and paint with this setup, guys. This is a standing desk, so in theory I could, but too many cords attached to the back. Brush is drying out again. All right. That's highlights on another one. Just gonna put my highlighted ones in a row here. Get a little more water on my wet palette here. Start to dry out. Oh. You can tell it's drying out if when you go to move the paint, like you still see like the bottom of it like sticking to the palette. That means your wet palette is drying out and you need to add more water. Painting the tops of their heads again because I keep either missing that or just not covering it enough. I'm seeing other paint showing through it. And like the top of the head is going to be like one of the shiniest parts of the skull because the sun is like the sun, the light source, whatever it is, coming down right from the top. So there we go. That's a good plastic color juice. Alrighty. That's highlights done on another one. Gonna move this scythe to the side here. I can paint the head. It's not supposed to be that far up, but these models, since they're made of such soft plastic, and the plastic that they came shipped in so hard, a lot of them got like got sort of contorted into weird shapes because the plastic inset for them is like rigid and it wasn't like each hole was not like cut out for them specifically, it feels like. It was more just a general shape, and that caused a lot of them to get bent. Which is unfortunate, but just the way it is. Can't help the way that manufacturing works. I did buy some very nice foam inserts for them, but they are from a German company called Feldherr or Feldherr, however you pronounce it. But they're specifically made so that you can drop them into the HeroQuest game box and use that as your sort of like outside case, and the foam fits inside it, and all your figures and stuff fit inside that box still. So I like to keep the game box. But I haven't checked, but since they are a German company, I imagine trying to buy any more for my expansions and stuff like that probably going to be incredibly expensive now because of the world that we live in, which I hate. All these stupid tariffs, making it impossible to get anything shipped from outside of the United States, especially if it's a small company. I know, I don't know if it's hit Games Workshop yet, but they increased all their prices recently, but I don't know if that was due to tariffs. I don't know. Games Workshop is already expensive enough. I probably am using more of this lighter bone color than I should do, but it's one of those things. I just kind of do it by feel. And it will help it stand out a little bit more from the rest of the model that's brown. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, I know. I just do I just do all the rims separate after I take them off, and just paint the rim after everything's finished. I bought this thing 5,000 years ago. I just haven't felt the need to invest in a different one. But yeah, I haven't done too much of the sponging stuff. It's one of those techniques I haven't really tried out. I did a lot of this with the airbrush, but I feel like, you know, I can only use the airbrush for so long because I'm not super confident with it, and I feel like I'm breaking it every time I clog it up, even though I know I'm not. I just need to. Ooh, cheap followers at Streambo. Well, I know what to do with that. Bam. Banage. I want to get. This is something I just haven't bothered to purchase yet, but probably will in the future. The Red Grass Games bottle holder. It's got a little rotating panel that you can just sort of like twist with your fingers to turn the model. You don't actually have to move your hand like that. But yeah, this is the old Citadel model holder. It's got a big old badonkadonk. Not like the new one, which has the little thin neck at the top. Which is fine, I guess. Big old chonker. Yeah, I bought this when it came out. Ages ago. Before that, I was using a cork, I think. Something with some blue tack up on the top. This was just more ergonomically suitable. Also, it was pretty inexpensive for a Games Workshop product when it came out. think they're still pretty inexpensive for a Games Workshop product, but you know. I don't like the new ones. They've got that thin neck up at the top. It's not... I don't like it as much. I just realized that on this side of the skeleton's head, there's a mold line on his head. I guess makes sense. You're doing the model as two halves. It's not a model. I should stop saying that. It's a miniature. Because I did not build this. Alright, Skilly Tootsies. Kind of blend together on the mini, so trying my best to outline them. Just so you can catch all the definition. Okay, it's another one done with bone. Alright, so we've got 6 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12 to go. We're almost done with all the baseline skeletons. At least we're almost done with the bone. I keep saying we're almost done with them. What I mean is we're almost done with the bone on all these baseline skeletons. Not finished with them. I still got to do their armor, and I've still got to do their brown cloth and stuff. And the more unique and the unique models have some additional stuff that I need to put on there. All right. Hey, David. Dark Wizard. How long does it take you to paint a figure on average? Let me think. depends on the figure. This one, which was the test model for all the skeletons that we are painting today, I painted this one first to get all the colors down. I want to say this took me maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. But a more complicated model, I could usually paint one more complicated model, like I've done on past streams, like hero models, for maybe take me 3 hours to paint a more complicated mini or model. It really just depends on the amount of detail. On a regular sized hero model, I would say probably about 3 hours. And that's with paying special attention to like detail and stuff like that. Because usually with a regular like hero model, I want to make it look very nice, because it's generally a very important part of whatever game I'm playing, or we're talking HeroQuest, it's one of the player characters, so you want it to look very nice, so you want to make sure that you pay attention to all the details and stuff like that. And generally that means trying to be as neat and as detailed as possible. So about 3 hours, I would say. Larger models, of course, are going to take more time. Little models like this, where you're painting them in a painting a bunch of them. You don't have to be as detailed. You can be if you really want to, but you're giving yourself a recipe for pain at that point. Naturally, you have this natural inclination to want to do everything to the best of your abilities, but once you realize I've got to paint 20 of these guys, you say to yourself, oh, I cannot make all these guys look the exact same level of greatness. Not if I want to keep my sanity. But I don't know. That could be something that you want to do. I mean, I don't know your life, so if you decide you want to do that, that is your prerogative. But I do not recommend it. I have painted a couple of armies in my day, and you do not want to try to put as much detail on them as you do every single company hero or champion or whatever you have in your army, because it can be a real bugbear, let's put it that way. But as a result, I kind of like painting heroes more, just because I get to play on them more, like painting wise. You're not because you're not so limited with like individual unique models. You can kind of make them look however you want, whereas if you're painting models in a squad, you all want them to look kind of the same or similar, because you want them all to be like recognizable as the same guy on the tabletop. And with something like this, which is a board game, you don't necessarily have to do that. all have to look the same, but they should all look similar just for aesthetic's sake, I think. But that's just my opinion, man. Fingers. Whew. All right. Hands. I think my goal for this particular stream is going to be to get the bone done on all of them. Because we are already at 2 hours. And it is 11:34. My time. I still have things I need to do today, unfortunately. Wish all I had to do was stream. And paint miniatures. That would be great. But that is not the case. Alrighty. There we go. Just one more skeleton. Of the principal skeletons. I keep doing that to myself, which is I'm thinking to myself, there's just one more skeleton left. That's just this will be the last skeleton of like the regular default HeroQuest skeletons. I still have 5 archers and 2 unique skeletons. Or not unique, but 2 alternate sculpts of the skeletons to highlight. But we're very nearly done with all the bone. Reaching the tired point of painting these guys. If you looked at my last few streams, I was painting goblins for what felt like forever. Seemed like they would never be done, but we finally finished them. Last stream, I believe, was when I finished them. Alright. That's all the regular bog standard skellies highlighted. At the end of the last stream, we painted this one, which was the one that is the test model for all these other skeletons. I like this scheme, so we're going to keep it with the rest of them. And, yeah. So, we're going to stick to brown and silver for the next colors. And the reason why I'm doing this again is because since I'm painting so many of these, there are 12 regular skeletons, 2 alternates, which I'm gonna bring up one now. 2 of these guys here, the ones that are dragging their sword on the ground. And then there are 5 archers, so that's 14 plus 5 is 17. No, 19. Yeah. 19 skeletons that I have to paint. So that's quite a lot. So in order to save my brain and not have to put too many colors out, I am just using the same colors on all of them. Now, I did not do that for the goblins because I'm a masochist. Apparently. Because what I decided to do for them is, while they're all green-skinned goblins, of course, I decided I will have, of the basic goblins, we will have one of each. One will be in each a different color. So we had one's wearing red, one's wearing blue, one's wearing brown, and one wearing yellow. And there were 3 different main set sculpts. So that means that we had 4 reds, 4 blues. 3 reds, 3 blues, and 3 browns and 3 yellows for the baseline goblin sets. But then there were alternate goblins, and I painted those different colors as well. So I would go like brown, red, blue for a bunch of them, and then some were just the ones that were just 2 were red and blue. And then we had a unique goblin, which was like sort of a shaman witch thing. She was a completely different animal. Painted her by herself. She was also painted her purple, so she was a completely different color from the other goblins. so you didn't just mistake her for a regular goblin. So that was a holdback. I didn't have to do that. The reason why I did was, one, it's a gameplay consideration for when you're playing HeroQuest or any game or whatever. But this is specifically HeroQuest. So when your players are looking at the goblins on the board and they're trying to figure out which one to attack, you can easily just say, I'm going to attack the red one, or I'm going to attack the blue one, or I'm going to attack the brown one, or whatever. That's why I did that. Also, because when I originally painted my original copy of HeroQuest, not my copy, my dad's copy, when I originally painted that one, I painted them all different colors. I painted, or not the skin color, obviously, but I painted their jerkins all different colors, which was easier on them because they were all the same pose. I had red, blue, brown, and yellow on there as well. So that is what I did on those original ones. So I was like, well, I should do it on the new ones too. Again, I made my life more difficult, but I think they came out looking really cool. So it was kind of worth it, honestly. But I did that for the orcs, and I did that for the goblins, and I will do it for no other monster in this game. The skeletons, on the old ones, they were all one pose, and they had nothing but bones on them, and they were just they just held a scythe. So for those ones, I literally just went in the original set. I think I just dry brushed them because they were so easy to paint. These guys, I can't really do that, unfortunately, because they're wearing lots of armor. But they're all going to be the same color. Just keep things consistent, you know? Because also, in my mind, they're all the same army that has been risen. I think brown's a nice complementary color. I was thinking about doing maybe a purple for their armor. Then I was like, you know, why would I overcomplicate this for myself? Because there's like leather straps and stuff on here. Just make everything brown. That's what I did. I think it looks great, because the only part you care about on the skeletons is the bone anyway, so... Okay. Now, the archers and the alternate sculpts actually have less bone exposed on them, so archers have a little bit more than the alternate sculpt, but nothing I can't handle. Els Glockner. Ice Glock? I can't. Ice Glockner? Hello. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much. Glad that you, I'm glad that YouTube recommended me. It's going good with the skeletons. We're almost done with all of the bone on the skeletons. Very nearly done. That's my goal, is to get all the bone done. I see you're painting Blood Bowl, as you said. What Blood Bowl team are you painting? And I've only sort of lost my sanity. I actually lost it a long time ago, but, you know. We are very nearly done with the bone. 4 more skeletal archers left to do the bone on. Ooh. The Amber Husarian from Heresy Lab. Oh, that's cool. You printed those. That's awesome. Bretonian team for season 3. Main team are the Pirates Skaven. That sounds awesome. Skaven Pirates. Yes, yes. Yeah, I have that same problem. I don't actually have a group to play with right now, HeroQuest, except for my family. When my family comes down for gatherings, sometimes we'll play HeroQuest together, which is one of my favorite things to do, because I love this game. And I do know, the best thing about HeroQuest is more HeroQuest. The Barbarian. Look at the muscularity. Yeah, my dad actually is the one who got me into HeroQuest. I painted his original set from the 90s. and that was before they had announced the 2021 revamp. So I painted his original set from the 90s, and then they announced the 2021 revamp on my birthday, or they announced the campaign to. They announced the campaign to re-release it on HasLab, Hasbro's like Kickstarter-esque platform, and I immediately backed it at the highest level because I was like, I want this game to come back. I want more HeroQuest. Because the best thing about HeroQuest is more HeroQuest. So it came back. It's been going strong for the past 4 years, I think. Despite everything. Despite Hasbro, I should say. Avalon Hill has been doing their damnedest to promote it, which I'm super happy about. There are no major differences, actually. The original version and the new version have the same basic rule set for the US edition. Now, that's a big thing. I should specify is that because I'm aware that like the EU version had very different rules than the American version, but the new version uses the American rules for HeroQuest. But basically, like, if you wanted to play some of the new quest packs that they came out with, and you wanted to use your old HeroQuest minis and the board, you could ostensibly do that if you had figures that were the appropriate size. But yeah, there's no real difference in the rules. They use the same dice, same stats, same everything as the original US version. So, yeah. Oh, gotcha. For the most part, they are the same. There's one. There are two big changes. So you probably know this, but the original HeroQuest was a Games Workshop product, and they had two pieces of Games Workshop specific things in the monsters. They had the femur, which Games Workshop has kind of stepped away from. And they had the Chaos Warriors, of course. Now, Avalon Hill does not have the license to the Games Workshop stuff. So, they changed a couple of things. The femurs are no longer femurs. They are now abominations, which are... Your mileage will vary on how people feel about them. They're basically like fishmen. Some people are like, why are there fishmen in a dungeon? I've kind of come around on them. I like them. I miss the femurs. That's just probably nostalgia speaking. And the Chaos Warriors are basically the same, but they're called Dread Warriors now. It's not the Forces of Chaos, it's the Forces of Dread. Because you can't use Chaos because that's Games Workshop's bag. But other than that, everything else is the same. More cars called Zargon, because, again, they're using the US version. But other than that, all the same. Yep. The best thing about the new HeroQuest is that it's the same as the old HeroQuest. They've released almost all the expansions at this point. We've got it shipped originally with Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord. They were included in the original campaign. And then they released the Frozen North, which is the Barbarian quest pack in the US, but they released the Frozen North. That was their first major expansion after the original two. And they did the Mage of the Mirror. And then they released a new expansion pack called Rise of the Dread Moon. And then they released Against the Ogre Horde, which is a big deal for us here in the States because we never had that one ever. And then they released another original one called The Jungles of Delthrak. Those are all the major expansions. They've had some unique quests along the way that have been released as well. The original Kickstarter, HasLab, whatever you want to call it, campaign, featured a few new quest books that were written by the game designers. There's a Prophecy of Telor, the Spirit Queen's Lament, or Spirit Queen's Torment, rather. And there was one done by Joe Manganiello called The Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. Joe Manganiello, big in the D&D space, if you know anything about that. And that was all in the HasLab campaign. So that was pretty cool. Crypt of Perpetual Darkness actually just released this year to everyone who wasn't on the Kickstarter. So was it this year or last year? It was this year. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. And those are like just quest books. They were not really like, there wasn't too much in there. The Crypt of Perpetual Darkness has a dragon. There's some new heroes in the other ones, but they were only new heroes to the people who didn't back the campaign. So there's a little less exciting on the game front there. But like Rise of the Dread Moon and Jungles of Delthrak are two completely new expansions that add a bunch of cool stuff to it. So far, rumor is that next expansion that is releasing is the Wizards of Morcar, which will be very exciting as well. Of course, they won't call it the Wizards of Morcar. They'll probably call it the they'll probably call it something like the Wizards of Zargon. Yeah. Joe Manganiello is like an actor. Joe Manganiello is an actor, and he's known as like a huge like player in the D&D community, because he's like, it's like, hey, did you know that really attractive actors can also play D&D now? That's the new fun thing that we get to deal with, which isn't a problem. I'm glad that it's become more popular. But yep, they're still making HeroQuest. They are still making HeroQuest. And I'm so happy. Because I as a kid, we had the original HeroQuest, and we had the Keller's Keep, and we had Return to the Witch Lord. That's all that we had, and we would make our own quests after that. And then once I found the internet, of course, we had what the heck? I cannot believe I've picked up this model so many times, this mini so many times, and didn't even realize that this was still attached. This is a piece of, this isn't actually part of the model. This is a piece of flashing that's still attached to it. Wow. That's impressively insane to me. But yeah, the best thing about HeroQuest is that they're still making HeroQuest. But yeah, when I was a younger man, a teenager, I discovered the website Ye Olde Inn, which was a huge repository for a ton of like homebrew content. It was great. You could also find other stuff on there. It was just a fantastic resource in the early days of the internet. And I used to go there all the time and get new HeroQuest stuff because I loved playing HeroQuest so much. It was my first like dungeon crawler style board game, and I really enjoyed it. Alrighty. Next up is Brown. Skelly Boys. I actually probably need to hop out of here in just a few minutes because it's already noon for me, unfortunately. I need to go get some lunch and have a bunch of stuff that I need to do today. As much as I wish I could just spend all day painting models and talking about HeroQuest is unfortunately not my lot in life. Oh, very nice. Legends of Andor. I never heard of that one. Hello, who are you? Man, who are you? Man, who are you? It's 11 p.m. for you. Oh. And 6 p.m. for Ice. Yep. My day is just getting started. And I have to fix a door today. That's the exciting thing that I get to do. Actually, I think I colored that silver last time. So we'll just color that brown with silver once we get there. Oh, okay. Legends of Andor. I'll take a look at it. Have stories, scenarios, campaigns. Wow. Whew. Legends of Andor. When I think of Andor, I just think of the Star Wars character now. And the Disney Plus show. Which is very good. Stick with Star Wars 4 through 6. Maybe 1 through 3. I can respect that. I don't mind the new trilogy too much. At least the first two ones in the new trilogy. I like Last Jedi. Then Rise of Skywalker was written by Reddit, I think. The Force Awakens is a little too legacy sequel-y to me. But at least it introduced us to some new characters that I kind of like. But I've always said the worst thing about Star Wars is Star Wars fans. Those damn fans. No, that's kind of true in a sad way. They just got very upset about the Last Jedi. And I don't really get it, but whatever. I think I'm gonna do something with this guy just because I think that this is the test model that I painted all the other ones off of. And I think that this should be brown, because the more I look at it, the more it looks like it's fur or something coming out of his little gauntlet. All right, so it is 12:20. I still have to run to the hardware store. I have to pick up some wood putty and fix a door that came off. Fix a door that came off its hinges. Yeah. So, but thanks for hanging out, Ice and Nancy and everybody else who popped into the stream. Man, who are you? Ron, Zonated, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna hop over here, and we're gonna go. Whoa! Whoa! Hey, don't do that. I'm gonna go all the way over here. So I can look at my... There we go. Alrighty. But thanks for hanging out. I had a ball. I will be back on tomorrow streaming. That is a 95% certainty. And then with that, I will what I'll probably end up doing is I may finish these skeletons by myself off stream. And what that means is, if you want to see the finished versions of them, I recommend you follow me on Instagram at Blue Wizard Studio. I will be posting pictures on there of my finished skeletons if I paint them tonight, which I very well may, just because I want to get them finished. And that means that tomorrow we'll start something new. I'll probably do some either the zombies or the unique skeletons, which the unique skeletons are like the Witch Lord and the Chaos Sorcerer and all that stuff. We might do that just because I'm getting tired of batch painting for now. So, but we'll see what happens. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for all the chats. I love talking to folks on stream. It makes the painting go by a little bit faster to me. So thanks for hanging out, and thanks for following, subscribing, all that stuff. Have a good day.